The two basic techniques have to do with capturing oil on the surface and dispersing it in the water column. And you capture oil at the surface through things called booms and skimmers, which are, you've probably seen pictures of these buoy-like things that you extend along the coast or in the water to try and capture this surface oil as it's floating towards the shore. And they absorb it, and then you can harvest those booms and put fresh ones out. The challenge in Louisiana is that it's not a typical coastline that you think of where, like Daytona Beach, that you can drive up to and walk on. This is a long, jagged coastline that's been described as kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. There's only 2 or 3 places on the entire coast you can actually drive up to. So it's a long, jagged coastline of marshland when it's a real challenge to try to get these booms and skimmers out over a very long and inaccessible distance. The other way they're dealing with the spill is through something known as chemical dispersants. This is a chemical that is sprayed on the surface, or in this particular case, into the actual spill itself at the bottom of the ocean. And the chemical is designed to break up the oil into droplets so that it doesn't actually reach the surface and sinks into the water column. And the challenge with dispersants is that you're really trading off one environmental problem for another. You're avoiding the oil coming on shore, and so you don't have pictures of pelicans being soiled by oil and so on. But it does incorporate the oil into the water column where there are other organisms, and the oil also sinks to the bottom faster. And so we don't really know what the long-term issues are associated with these dispersants. And the dispersants are being used in unprecedented amounts in the BP oil spill. EPA has tried to force BP to use less toxic forms. BP has pushed back and said, well, the forms we're using are the most effective, and it's not clear that the alternatives are less toxic. So there's a real tug-of-war going on between BP and the EPA. And a lot of environmental scientists are concerned that we're really conducting a great experiment here, using hundreds of thousands of gallons of these chemicals without really knowing what the long-term impacts will be.